lot had been learned in the first fight, and several years had gone by, and both men were actually much better prepared for this fight. The speed and agility against forward pressure and raw brute force, the classic matador and the bull. I want to talk about fight preparation and what they practiced in camp and what these two great boxing minds came up with as far as tactics and adjustments. But first, we have to talk about the referee. It was a big night in Madison Square Garden, and everybody was tense at the beginning, but I don't know if that explains Tony Perez.
Tony Perez gets him apart.
Because in the second round, this happened.
Joe was wobbled. What's happening? The bell didn't ring. The referee thought the bell rang. The referee didn't. There was about 10 seconds left to go. The referee thought he heard the bell.
To look around, I couldn't figure what happened, and Ali had Frazier in trouble. He had him in trouble right above us here, and the referee, Tony Perez, thought the bell had clanged. Tony sent the fighters to their corners.
Well, Tony pulled a gap.
2 rounds in a row where things have happened with the referee that should never happen. Something phony about that right hand, though. Ali forced Frazier into a mistake, and he profiled and ate that shot. Joe swore he wasn't hurt. It was just one of those things, but it sure smelled funny. I'll tell you what, those old boys laughed at me and thought I was hilarious for thinking there was anything honest or straightforward about boxing. They told me nothing is as it seems, and I'm afraid it's true. Now, we still had a tremendous 10 rounds of heavyweight action to go, and it was marred by this, I don't even know what to call it. You know, I hate conspiracy theories, but boxing's full of them, and the conspiracy theories around this involve the over and under. You could get long odds that Ali would knock Frazier out inside 5 rounds. The only reason I can entertain any of those conspiracy theories at all is because of boxing's past history of corruption.
Here's the corner of Joe Frazier. In with him, facing head-on, is manager Eddie Futch. On the left-hand side, Milt Bailey. On the other man, Dr. John Thompson.
And here's Don.
There's the bell. Frazier forcing the action. Ali setting himself to try for a knockout. They're putting everything into this. Ali is going to try for a knockout here. He thought he had Joe in trouble.
You can always tell what was done in the training camp by what happens in the fight, because sometimes fighters just can't make it work during the course of the fight. But I find it interesting to look anyway, because there is a lot to be learned. The adjustments made by both camp based on the fighter they had that night and what they had learned from the previous fight. Unfortunately, the other thing that we have to talk about is the animosity that was growing between these two camps. This animosity went back at least as far as the Ellis-Frazier fight.
That's what Ellis and Dundee complained about, and Perez is warning Frazier about before the fight, the butting.
Angelo was pissed about the headbutts and the low blows, and Eddie Futch was upset about the constant yanking on Joe's neck. Like I said before, one foul leads to another, and it's never the makings of a good fight. In the first fight, Ali pretty thoroughly outboxed Frazier in spurts, but he failed to establish ring generalship, and therefore he couldn't control the distance or the pace. Angelo called bullshit on the whole thing and determined that if it was going to be an alley fight, Ali was going to be the boss on the inside. Your eyes are not deceiving you. That's called taking it to the street, and Ali did establish dominance. Now we can finally talk about the tactics and the strategies involved in what was really a great fight. In the first fight, Joe was successful in rushing Ali and keeping him from setting and throwing power shots that were really effective. For Frazier, he needs to come across the gap smoking and rush Ali and drive him into the ropes and land shots to the body. He must avoid punching from too far out. In the heat of the fight, he did exactly that. Ali needed to stay off the rope, counter the left hook with the straight right hand at a distance that would prevent the counter. And they had known since the Ellis fight that it was critical to turn Frazier and make him box in a circle and not let him drive you straight into the ropes. The biggest change that Angelo had made was he had greatly improved Ali's lead or check hook in the intervening 3 years.
Ali making the clinch. Ali making the clinch. Frazier has landed some hard body shots. That's what he wants to do. There's the bell ending round 3. Now, Joe Frazier took an awful lot of headshots in that round, and we wonder how that's going to affect him later on. He rarely hit Ali, who had a tremendous round. He got in a few body shots, but not enough to prove valuable.